उन्होंने शुरू किया under the leadership of Deshabandhu Chittaranjan Das. And like Subhash, the earlier stage, Sarat also started his political career with the Calcutta Corporation, being an alderman to begin with, and then a councillor, alderman in 1924, and a councillor from 1930 to 1932. And this 1930, as you know, was a year of civil disobedience in Bengal. And Sarat Chandra Bose hung up his gown, his advocate's gown, and actually he gave up his professional practice. और कांग्रेस के ये असहयोग आंदोलन जो है उसमें वो शामिल हो गए. Sir, I am very comfortable in English, no problem. अच्छा, okay. Yes, yes. Now regarding this particular year, I would like to state that as he had boycotted the bar, Sarat Bose was personally requested by Indumati Sinha, the elder sister of Ananta Singh of Chattagram uprising, to appear before the Chattagram court to defend these revolutionaries. Sarat Bose, as Shomabrata was saying, Sarat Bose went to Chattagram and he appeared in the court, Chattagram. Now there are two things I would like to discuss here. Already Shomabrata has said one particular thing of the carrying bombs and all that, which we find in Ananta Singh's book. After reaching the jail, Chattagram jail, Sarat Bose wished to have an interview with his client, Anant Singh. Now the interview was arranged. So the jailer was standing very close as Sarat Bose and Anant Singh they were sitting face to face. Very boldly, Sarat Babu said, "Well, Mr. Jailer, the interview would be preferably be within the sight, but not within the hearing." That means in one way, उन्होंने कहा जेलर साहब को, भाई तुम दफा हो यहाँ से, दूर में जाके खड़े रहो. The jailer was so in such an awkward position that he said sorry and he went a little bit distance away. Now this was the chance for Sarat to talk to his client so that nobody else hears it. Sarat immediately said, Ananta Singh, देखो ये जो विचार हो रहा है, ये विचार के नाम में एक प्रहसन, कोई विचार नहीं है. मैं तुम लोगों को बचा नहीं सकूंगा क्योंकि this particular trial is a biased trial. Can you break the jail? A lawyer is asking his client, can you break the jail and flee? I want you people to make a jailbreak and get out of the Chittagong jail and run away. And according to Sarat's advice, Ananta Singh and other inmates of in the Chittagong jail who were involved in the Chittagong uprising, they literally attempted for a jailbreak. It was later on caught. And after it was caught, the British realized that if we hang these people in Chittagong, there will be another uprising. So it was decided that all of them, at that time Surya Sen was not held captive by the British. उनको बंदी नहीं किया था. I mean, he was running around. तो इन्होंने जो ठीक किया कि भाई इनको फांसी नहीं देंगे, इनको हम काला पानी में भेज देंगे. We'll send them to Andaman jail. So the entire group of the Chittagong uprising who were there in the Chittagong jail, they were sent to Andaman. So with the blessings of Sarat Chandra Bose, these revolutionaries, they could avoid the gallows and they went to Andaman and spent the rest of the life there. I mean, up to 1947, 42, they spent their lives at the cellular jail Andaman. If you go to Andaman, you see those nameplates where you can find the names of these revolutionaries who have taken part in the Chittagong uprising. Second thing which I would like to mention here, during the trial, as you know, as I've already mentioned, in 1930, Sarat Chandra Bose has boycotted the bar. But he was there in Chittagong court, to participate in the hearing of the trial of these revolutionaries. Now, statesman at that time was a paper which was heavily sponsored by the British Empire. Statesmen, they taunted Sarat Chandra Bose that यहाँ शरद चंद्र बोस ने इस मामले के प्रिपरेशन के लिए ही उन्होंने बार को बॉयकॉट किया है. शरद चंद्र बोस enters the Chittagong court with a copy of the statesman in his hand, and he tells the judge there, Your Lordship, before I proceed for the case, I would like to say a few words about this damn paper. He said, this damn paper which has published all nonsense in my name. Judge said, okay, Mr. Bose, go ahead. Sarat Bose, with a loud voice, right in the court, said, I damn care for the masquerading of a cur hiding under the borrowed hide of a British lion. अरे ब्रिटिश का जो शेर है, जो बोलते हैं, उसके चमड़ी के भीतर, उसके चमड़ी के पीछे तो बोला, उसके चमड़ी के पीछे छुपा हुआ एक कुत्ता, उसकी आवाज को मैं कोई गौर नहीं करता. I damn care. He warned on the court itself that if within 15 days statesman would not apologize, वो statesman के विरुद्ध मामला करेंगे और वो देख लेंगे statesman क्या कर सकता है. And such was the power of Sarat Chandra Bose that within 7 days the editorial of the statesman apologized to Sarat Chandra Bose. So this was the charisma of Sarat Chandra Bose. This was the personality of Sarat Chandra Bose. And therefore, in the police reports, Sir Charles Taggart has made this note. That Sarat Chandra Bose assisted the revolutionary movement for years by means of his purse, his press, and his prestige. He is not the man to throw bombs himself. As Shomoto said, he is not the man to throw bombs himself, but he is ready to provide money for their manufacture. He will probably never shoot an European official as long as he lives, but he is eager to incite young men to commit murder. You men in this presidency have provided so much money for the revolutionary enterprises. No man is more responsible for the present cult of revolver. No man has done as much as Sarat Bose to instill into the mind of the youth of Bengal that poisonous creed which justifies political assassination and canonizes political murderers. This is very dangerous. This very dangerous individual should be dealt with under Regulation 3. That is why during the 1930s, Sarat Bose was kept interned in his home at Kurseong, Pahar, where he had a house, and the British did not dare to put him in any of the prisons because they said, if we put Sarat Bose in a prison, we will open up a cabinet there only and hold meetings with the revolutionaries. Such afraid the British were of Sarat Chandra Bose. And he, as a man, always thought one thing, that nothing is morally wrong. Let me repeat, nothing is morally wrong can be politically right. What is morally wrong cannot be politically right. This was the outlook of Sarat Chandra Bose. And therefore, he always pressed forward for a free and hard press. He started his career as a journalist when Deshabandhu Chittaranjan Das started his official organ of Swaraj Party called Forward, later which was known as New Forward and thereafter Liberty. And also, he was the managing director here where two Bengali papers also used to come out. Under his stewardships, these publications, well known as Daily Banglar Kotha and the weekly Atma Shakti, which were renamed as Bangobani and Navashakti respectively. They set new standards in fearless and honest journalism. Fearless and honest journalism, which we very hardly find nowadays. So this was Sarat Chandra Bose. And later on we know that after independence, he started his own paper, The Nation, where he constantly spoke against the partition. Also, He was the first political leader after independence to criticize India's taking membership into the Commonwealth. Now, how many of us know this? But if we study Sarat Chandra Bose, he has openly criticized the Indian people, the Indian government, the Congress government for joining the politics. He was always against the partition. He always fought against the partition. And when his proposal to unite both Punjab and Bengal failed, his last attempt was to unite Bengal with this formula of United Sovereign Bengal, which was rejected by Lord Mountbatten, rejected by Congress, rejected by Hindu Mahasabha. So actually the partition became a reality, Sarat Bose criticized and he wrote to Vallabhbhai Patel that by accepting religion as the sole basis of distribution of provinces, the Congress has cut itself from its moorings to accept that concept, that is of religion or theocratic states. In the year of grace 1947, and to apply it to India, will remain pushing her back to the medieval age.
Wow.
Today he said that the wrongdoings we have done in 1947 will pay us in future. What do we see today? The terrorist activities in the border areas, the Taliban in Afghanistan. It would not have happened. It would not have happened if India would not have been partitioned on the basis of religion. I will not take much time. I just wanted to give you the idea of the personality of Sarat Chandra Bose, his ideologies, his thoughts, and there are a lot of other speakers. I would like them to speak out. There are a lot of things we can speak about Sarat Chandra Bose, but let this go on as a series, and slowly on particular certain matters, we shall discuss more and more about this great statesman, the great parliamentarian, the great lawyer, and the great journalist, Sri Sarat Chandra Bose. Thank you very much.
থ্যাংক ইউ স্যার। সৈকত নিয়োগী জয়েন করতে পারেনি, তো একটা স্পিকার কম আছে, আপনি আরও কিছু বলতে চাইলে বলতে পারেন।
No, some other thing, Mr. Bharat can speak.
Mr. Bharat ji.
No, I don't know much about the history. I'm trying to learn about the whole thing, so I joined in.
Okay. Sumit Banerjee. Sumit Banerjee.
क्या बोल रहे हैं बोलिए
আপনি যদি কিছু বলতে চান শরৎচন্দ্র বসুর সম্বন্ধে বলতে পারেন, একজন স্পিকার নেই আজকে।
नहीं नहीं काफी है जो सुन लिया बस ठीक है इससे ज्यादा मेरा भी पास कुछ नॉलेज नहीं है इससे ज्यादा
ठीक है, अभिजीत दा आप कंटिन्यू कीजिए, आपको थोड़ा टाइम है पूरा।
थोड़ा टाइम है।
Well,
हाँ,
I've already spoken a lot, but the thing is that after publishing The Nation,
ওই যে আপনার মুখটা ঠিক দেখা যাচ্ছে না, একটু ব্যাকে সরে গেলে
ব্যাকে বসুন না।
ঠিক আছে?
এবার ঠিক আছে।
আর একটু
Now, one more thing which Shobhabrata was saying needs a little bit of explanation. The acquirement of the house of 38 by 2 Elgin Road. The history of Netaji Bhavan. Now, who gave this name, Netaji Bhavan? It was Sarat Chandra Bose who gave the name Netaji Bhavan. How many people have remembered? There is no portrait of Sarat Bose in Netaji Bhavan. There is only one hall in his name, Sarat Bose Hall. There is no bust of Sarat Chandra Bose in Netaji Bhavan. Now the story behind this acquirement goes that from 1941 to 1945, more than 4 years, Sarat Bose was arrested by the British Empire under Regulation 3 once again. The charges were keeping contacts with the Japanese, keeping contacts with the revolutionaries to overthrow the British government. And it is true that the first meeting of Subhash Chandra Bose with the Japanese was in 1940 in Calcutta, in a house at Swino Street, where he met the Deputy Foreign Minister of Japan and had a closed-door meeting with him. We don't know the outcome. Maybe Subhash, we had come back, Netaji had come back, he would have told us. But the contact was kept even after the Great Escape by Sarat Chandra Bose. The 64 files which came out from West Bengal intelligence categorically show that they have traced Sarat Bose along with the Japanese official thrice. Once at the Dakshineshwar temple, one under the Bali bridge, and one at the Rishra house of Sarat Chandra Bose. Sarat Chandra Bose had a house in Rishra also. It's right on the GT road. If anybody of you go to Rishra on the GT road, the famous sweetmeat shop of Pilu Modok, there you ask them, where is the house of Sarat Chandra Bose, they will tell you. That Bose house still stands by the banks of the river Hooghly. And here, Sarat Chandra Bose, along with his wife, Srimati Vibhavati Bose, they entertained the Deputy High Commissioner of Japan and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Otto, where Srimati Vibhavati Bose was entertaining Mrs. Otto in the house with tea and snacks. Sarat Chandra Bose was walking along the banks of river Hooghly along with Mr. Otto, discussing the strategies and how Japan could help in the war of independence of India. It was 1941. After that, immediately Sarat Bose was arrested. And the British did not dare to put him in any of the prison. They sent him to a remote hill station in Tamil Nadu named Kunur, where you have the Military Academy of Wellington. And in a house named as Fairlight, that Fairlight house still stands. I've seen it with my own eyes, where Sarat Chandra Bose was kept interned for more than 4 years, alone, without any companion, and his family members were only allowed very scarcely to meet him. Such tremendous mental pressure was put on Sarat Chandra Bose. He was alone. He was a family man. He loved to live with his family and friends. He was kept all alone. Nobody to talk to. They were only given a few papers and all that. No books to read. And after his release in 1945, from Kunur, he straight away went to Bombay, now Mumbai. That time it was Bombay. And he addressed a huge gathering there in Bombay. Now the dignitaries present in that meeting, they presented Sarat Bose with a fat purse, a lump sum amount of money, and requested Sarat Bose to spend this money for a good cause. Sarat Chandra Bose promised that yes, I'm going back to Calcutta. I will spend this money for a good cause and not spend it for my own pleasure. After coming back from Calcutta, he heard that 38 by 2 Elgin Road, of which Subhash Chandra Bose was one of the shareholders, the British government had decided to put that portion in auction. And that portion in auction means the whole house will be in auction. The whole house will be in auction. So a historic place will be sold out, and after it being sold out, it may be raised to the ground and some new buildings may be built in that respect. Sarat Chandra Bose, he wanted to buy this particular house and save this house being auctioned. ये नीलाम होने से रोकना है. But unfortunately, the fat purse which he received from Mumbai was not sufficient enough to pay to the auctioneers and to give other shareholders the equal amount of portion so that they would move to some other places. At this particular junction, on his request, the Anandabazar group of publication, where Mr. Mazumdar was the sole caretaker at that time, Suresh Chandra Mazumdar, he came forward and he gave the rest of the money. So with that money, 38 by 2 Elgin Road would be saved from the auctioneers. Sarat Bose named this house as Netaji Bhavan. While he was entering, I heard it from my uncle Avinath Bose. I heard it from my auntie Srimati Geeta Biswas. As he was entering the house, Sarat Bose declared that I dedicate this house to the nation. My question to the present owners of 38 by 2 Elgin Road, the present owners of Netaji Research Bureau, how much they have dedicated this house to the nation, how many research scholars they have nurtured in this house. Where is the modern archives of Netaji Research Bureau, where young researchers, research scholars would gain the benefit, the knowledge of Sarat Chandra Bose and Subhash Chandra Bose and the revolutionaries of Bengal and the true history of the Indian independence movement. I would request each and everybody to think of this very seriously and ask the administration of Netaji Research Bureau that have you justified the real heritage of this house which was saved by Sarat Chandra Bose? Have you really dedicated yourselves in reviving the history, the true history of Indian independence movement? Ask them the question, if possible, raise a movement and demand to them that we would like the wishes of Sarat Chandra Bose, we would like the heritage of the Bose family and the Indian revolutionaries to be established at 38 by 2 Elgin Road. With these words, I have already spoken quite a lot. I am aging now and a continuous talk is not possible for me. I request the Indian Socialist Party once again, thank them for this sort of particular meetings, and I would request them to hold on such meetings in future so that the people know about this forgotten leader. You know, after partition, what Sarat Bose demanded from the government of India? Sarat Bose said, "You have already taken the chunk of Bengal from us. The economy of Bengal is in ruins. So at least give us the part of Bengal which was there even after 1905, the Manbhum and Singhbhum districts of Bihar. Please include them to West Bengal." At that time, I am not hesitant in saying, that time, our first president of India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, opposed this idea of Sarat Chandra Bose. He started introducing Hindi in each and every school of the Manbhum and Singhbhum districts. They are now in Jharkhand. And insisted that the people should know more Hindi there than Bengali. Such narrow religion feelings were set up by one of the Congress leaders who was an ex-Congress president and later on to become the president of India. So everywhere, all his proposals before independence and after independence were outright rejected. And today we hear some of the leaders of the Hindu Mahasabha, they are calling Sarat Bose a separatist leader. I would request these people, please study about Sarat Chandra Bose. Please learn about Sarat Chandra Bose and then make these statements. When you are making these statements without knowing the man, without knowing the statesman, you are insulting yourself. You are insulting the nation. You are insulting Bengal. With this, I would beg to be excused And if there are any questions from anybody, you're most welcome to ask. Thank you very much. Jai.
Very well spoken. Thank you.
Thank you, Avijit.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you,
Jai.
Avijit, for your speech.
Jai.
Actually, we know very much about Sarat Chandra Bose. Actually,
See, questions are always there. Like I have,
please ask.
I have one question that about Shishir Bosu. Is he really drove him? Is he really drop him? By the help of Shishir Bosu, Netaji escaped from his home, or it is only a story?
No. It's not a story. Actually, see, I'll tell you, there are 8 members of the Bose family. 8 members of the Bose family who knew about this great escape. One was Sarat Chandra Bose. Second one was his wife Divabati Bose. Third one was Sri Ashok Nath Bose, the elder son of Sarat Chandra Bose and his wife Srimati Meera Bose. Then it was Dijendra Nath Bose, the second son of Satish Chandra Bose, the eldest of the Bose brothers. Aurobinda Bose, son of Sri Suresh Chandra Bose, the third of the Bose brothers. Ila Bose, the daughter of Suresh Chandra Bose, and Shishir Kumar Bose. These 8 members of the Sarat Bose, they knew about this. But the entire blueprint from Kolkata to Kabul was known to only 3 persons. Sarat Chandra Bose, Mia Akbar Shah,